What is up, ladies and gents, Ghost here, back with some more Battlefield 4 once again, and today I'm going to be talking about the CTE, otherwise known as the Community Test Environment, which is Dice's little playground where they're trying around with some new things and fixes to the game, and generally just letting the community try out things in a private client before they patch it over into the main game. So as of this time, we haven't actually been able to post any footage or stream anything from the CTE itself, but the terms of service have just been changed, so everything you see in the background here is straight from the CTE. Now, you may not really notice the difference too much by just looking at the footage, and obviously this is on YouTube, so you're only looking at this in 30 FPS. But one of the biggest things they've changed here is the netcode, and if you're somebody who's had the opportunity to actually try this out for yourself, I'm sure you will have experienced a big change. So the way they've decided to address this is by adding a new option into the gameplay menu called High Frequency Network Update, and you can set this option to low, medium or high, and the higher you set it, essentially the higher tick rate you will have and the better your experience will be. The reason they actually present this option is because I believe it can cause problems for people who have a ridiculously slow internet connection. Some people over on the stream come to mind. I won't name names, but you know who you are. But in any case, I have been having a blast. Things like dying behind walls, kill trades, those annoying situations where you feel like you really got the better of somebody, but you end up dying and they end up living. Those just seem to be a thing of the past now. I can safely say that I have not had a kill trade with anybody unless I feel that it was completely just. Unless I feel like, wow, we actually really did start firing at each other at the exact same time, we fired the same amount of bullets, and as a result, we both ended up dying. So what about things like dying behind walls? This is a huge problem in BF4. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's essentially somebody starts firing at you, you dart behind the wall trying to take cover, and you end up dying on the floor behind that wall, even though you feel like you're in cover because the network on the server has just simply not updated for the enemy who's firing at you that you've darted behind the wall, and as a result, he actually kills you on his screen. That is how the server responds. Well, on the CTE, I'm really happy to tell you guys that I have always gotten behind walls whenever I've tried this. I can usually find that I escape with maybe 60 to 80% of my health, whereas in the normal Battlefield 4 base game, I was maybe just escaping with like 20% health, and most of the time I would end up dead on the floor. It's really hard to convey to you guys without you having experienced the gameplay for yourself over on the CTE with a good frame rate, but it just feels so much more snappier than it was before. In every situation where I end up in a firefight, if I die, I always feel like, yeah, you know what? That guy got the better of me. He started firing earlier, or he aimed better, and he deserved that kill, and I'm absolutely fine with that. It's all of those situations where you end up dying and you feel like it was out of your hands. You feel like you couldn't have even done anything about it because of the netcode or because of some silly bug in the game. And that is also one of the major things that I think is stopping Battlefield 4 from being the competitive game that it had the potential to be before it was released. So a couple of other things they've also started to address is, for example, the screen shaking from grenades. So as you all know before, screen shaking in Battlefield 4 from explosives, so grenades, C4, pretty much anything that blows up, was really exaggerated. It had gotten to the level where your screen would shake around so much that you would completely lose your target, and it would be very difficult to visually identify where your target is just with your eyes, never mind aiming with your reticle on him. Now, as you can see here, the screen shake has been drastically reduced. If you're ADSing, it is enough that it will stop you from being able to aim as optimally as you were before, but you're not going to completely lose your target like you did before. It was just this really uncomfortable experience that was really painful, actually, for me on my eyes, you know, having to try and reacquire your targets and where things were on the screen, how things had changed. I kind of felt like when a strobe light goes off and it appears as if the room is blinking and things keep changing, that's what I feel like when the screen shaking started to happen in Battlefield 4. So it's great that they've changed that. I think this is definitely one of those things that it may be realistic, but within the Battlefield 4 game, it doesn't make for a fun mechanic at all. And the final change that they have also put in here is they have fixed the jet altitude bug finally. I am so happy about this. This thing has been a huge problem. You guys probably know I made a video on it a few weeks ago, and a lot of people watched that. A lot of people knew about this bug. Also, a lot of people have been exploiting the bug to their own advantage, you know, knowing that if they go up high in the clouds, if they're in the middle of a dogfight and they're going to lose, if they go up high, the guy behind them isn't going to be able to do any damage to them, and they can repair up there. And I mean, this was just a huge game-breaking bug for jet pilots and for people in the AC-130. I'm not going to go over that too much, but it has now been fixed. Thank God. So hopefully this will be coming over to the live game as soon as DICE have decided that it's prepared and it's ready, and I really cannot wait for that to happen. That is about going to do it for this one. I just really wanted to update you on what's going on over there. I know a lot of you guys play the CTE for yourselves, but also a lot of you who don't have access to Premium might want to know what's going to be coming your way in the future on the normal Battlefield 4 game over on the regular servers. And yeah, that's what you guys have to look forward to. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this one. Let me know in the comments down below if you've played the CTE, what you think of the changes, because, you know, I have my own network connection. Everybody has their own setup, and maybe different people have different experiences to me, but I think on the whole, things have been very positive. Once again, cheers for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.